Hello and welcome to the channel. In today's episode, I am in the garden and I need to do some cleanup. Y'all see that mess back over there? I can't point. Back over there? I'm making a mess. I've got to clean that up and not break anything. And I got to move some wood chip. So yeah, let's get into the garden. And I've got to water. So if you'd like to see what I'm getting up to today, stay tuned. So everything needs a deep drink. Oh, would you look at that? I've got Johnny Jump Ups. Oh, that's the first one I've seen so far. That's a weed, so that's got to come out. Ugh. Never ending, never ending. I have been taking the spent flower heads off of my zinnias and sprinkling them in the pots so that way they come back in the spring. Let's see, I've got clematis growing up nicely, some more zinnias growing. I know y'all probably going, isn't it December in Texas? Yes, it is. It is December. Yes, it is. But things are still growing, so we're going to let them grow. That clematis is looking very nice. I'm very surprised. It died back and now it's coming back. So over here, I've got to do some cleanup. The beans have died off because we did have some cold spells. So I need to harvest a few more bean pods. I've already gone through here and harvested, but I need to harvest the rest of those bean pods, cut that stalk down. The green you see in there is a pomegranate. And this looks like a brassica baby. And this is a garlic because it has a flat leaf. I've got garlic in there popping up. And it looks like I've got ants trying to make a home. So I'm going to have to put some more diatomaceous earth down there. As you can see, I'd already put some a while back and it's been raining. So I need to do more because we cannot have a ant condo. No, no, no. What I really need to tackle is all of this. I need to clean all this up. As you can see, there are still some pieces that are alive. I even see a little watermelon baby over there. Don't know if y'all can tell. That's a watermelon vine right there. Unbelievable. But this pumpkin patch is still very much alive. A lot of it has died, but a lot of it is still alive. I can see some baby pumpkins. In all honesty, I'm just going to pull all of this out and I might be able to salvage a couple of those baby pumpkins and just cook them small, but it all has to go. As you can see, the TP frame has been bent and broken, so I'll be putting that in the garbage, and I'll be putting the rest of this in the municipal compost bin. I need to move these wood chips. Let me back up, not fall. I have piles of wood chips stacked up here. These wood chips will be moved all the way over here. I even have a pile back there. Don't know if you all can see, but I got a big pile over there. So I've got some cleanup that I have to do, and I will take you all along with me. So I just walked in the house from work. Let me get my outdoor work clothes on and get my daytime work clothes off, and let's get started. I have a fair amount of cleanup to do, and I don't know how much of this I'm going to get done today, only because I don't have a lot of light when I get in from work. So I'm just going to do what I can do, and then the rest just I'll have to wait until tomorrow. That's all I can do. Now, I am seeing a lot of baby pumpkins on here. And I've got two over here that I can actually salvage. And we can eat these. So I'm just going to cut these two off. This plant was an amazing, prolific plant. Can you guys see that? Oh. These can be sauteed. So this might be what's on the dinner table tonight. Some sauteed vegetables and rice and something. So I'm going to put this over here on the table. and we are going to continue. I don't want to have you all sit here and watch me slow walk. So I'm going to try to speed this up. I am not going to pull any of the roots out of the ground. I know you all probably can't see me, but I'm not going to be pulling any of these roots out of the ground. The roots are going to stay. I'm going to chop off the vines as low to the ground as I can, and I'm going to cover everything up with wood chip. Oh, I see another baby pumpkin over there. I'm going to cover everything over with wood chip. As you can see, I hope you have seen, if you have been watching my channel, that this area, I stopped watering this in the summertime. I haven't watered it at all, and it has just been giving me and giving me and giving me and giving me food. So I'm going to let this stay. I'm going to leave the roots in here, let the roots feed the soil, and we're going to be growing some other stuff in this area next year. I will not be growing these pumpkin. I have enough canned and I have enough in the freezer that should last me for a year. So in 2025, I won't be growing this. I'll probably be growing this in 2026 because this has just been feeding. I've given some to my sister-in-law. I've given some to a neighbor. I've given some to a coworker, and I have plenty. So I see another baby over there that can be used for dinner tonight. So I'm going to get that one, and then I'm going to fastly I'm going to speed this up and move quickly and get this out the way because I don't have a lot of time. So let's get into it. Okay, you all probably saw me stumble, and that's because I stepped on something soft. And I want you all, if you're new gardeners and you're watching me for the first time, you're wanting to get into gardening, and you may not think about it, but there are critters that live in your garden. So you've got to be very mindful of what could have taken up residence in your garden. I have critters that frequently run through my garden. Nothing is living here that I can tell, that I can see, but they come through at dusk and in the evening. I am now finding feces, and I have seen on my camera that I have cats. There are two different types of not species, but two different color cats have been coming in the garden. Not only have I seen them on the camera, but I am now seeing evidence that they're using one of my chimneys as a toilet. And so I'm just being very mindful and watchful of what I'm doing, where I'm placing my feet, where my hands are, because I don't want to touch anything that could be harmful to me. That includes spiders. I have an array of different type of spiders that live in the garden, and so I don't want to accidentally mess around with them. I was in the memorial garden the other day, and I saw what appeared to me was a black widow, a very mature black widow. And if it wasn't a black widow, it was definitely poisonous because it had a red oh, I can't think of what it's called, but it had red on its abdomen. And I was trying to not put my hands anywhere near where I saw it, just in case there were babies, or there shouldn't be more than one because they're predators. I mean, they eat, they kill, they eat. And so I went in the house and I got some stuff to put over there so that hopefully it goes away, or dies, one of the two. I don't want it in my garden. So I'm being mindful, and I didn't trip. I stumbled because, like I said, I stepped on something soft, and I wanted to make sure that it wasn't something that I needed to run to get away from. So just be mindful of that if you're a new gardener. Watch where you're putting your hands and your feet. Try not to have a lot of uh, things piled up that you can't see under and around, like this here. I'll be moving this. I don't want it here anymore. Um, and I'll find a place for it. Now, what I'm doing is I am cutting off a trellis. I had I don't even know what you call this, it's not wire, it's like a fabric trellis. I'd had it for years, and I put it up on the TP, and I zip tied it. I didn't think that excuse me if you hear me sniffing, I didn't think that the pumpkin would decimate it as it did, but as you can see, that pumpkin really did a number on this structure, and I'm trying to get it loose so that I can get this out of the way. The other thing is that if you have items in your garden that are rusty, be mindful of those items that are rusty. Do your best to get them out of your garden, because you don't want to end up having to get a tetanus shot. I was in the garden, and this was before I left North Texas. I was just sitting in one of the brown chairs over by the table, and I made sure that there was nothing on the chair before I sat down. I looked under the chair, I looked behind the chair, and I didn't see anything. No bugs, no nothing. When I sat down in that chair, and I'd been in the chair for a while, just enjoying the garden. And when I went in the house, I realized that I had what appeared to be some form of bites all up and down my back. And I began to feel what felt like poison. And it was creeping up my back, going up towards my collarbone. I ended up having to go to urgent care. There were roughly 20 different puncture marks on my back. I had been stung, bitten by some form of spider. And that was a very unpleasant experience. Had to get some shots, had to have some medicine, and I don't want a repeat of that. So I tell you all this story because it happens. It happens all the time. You don't think about it, and before you know it, you are in urgent care. And I don't want a repeat of that. So if you're new to gardening and you're gung-ho and you're just trying to get out in the garden, just be mindful, because critters do live in your garden. This is their home. I know we like to think that this is ours, but it doesn't belong to us completely. Critters live here. They help us out. Some of them are just plain nuisances, but they live here too. And fortunately or unfortunately for me, my property was farmland before they bought it from the farmer and began to cultivate it and turn it into a housing development. So there are unwanted pests running around, and I'm doing my best to get rid of them. So I am going to keep trudging along. What I did was I used some stakes and some metal and plastic stakes to stake down the base of this, and I'm just trying to pick them up and move them out of the way. I don't want to leave any plastic down, and I will get the base of this up. So I'm going to speed this up, and I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing to get these metal poles out of here. And I'm going to take that metal structure, and that's going to go into the municipal trash, because I don't need it. I can do nothing with it. I can't salvage it. So it goes, and it's rusty. So be mindful of rusty stuff. If I didn't say that, be mindful of the rusty stuff. So let me get back at it. All right, for the most part, I have everything pulled out from over here. Um, so now I'm going to start moving these wood chips at least from over here and on top of here. Then I'll need to clean up that debris and then put this in the trash so that I don't fall on it. So I purposefully left these wood chips, and that's not going to work. That's going to hurt my back, and we're not going to do that. I purposely left wood chips because I knew that I would need to do some fall cleanup and I would need wood chips in different areas. So I purposely left them. It looked a mess and I was real sick and tired of looking at it, but it had a future purpose. And sometimes in gardening, a lot of times in gardening, you have to look at what the future purpose is of something. I know some people say, oh, gardeners are hoarders. Nah, not really. We can see the future purpose. And if we don't see it right away, we see it sometime after that. Because we're like, what can I use that for? At least I do. If you all are like me, put a message in the description box below and let me know. Because if I can see a future purpose, I will definitely hold on to something. Which is why I have all those wine bottles. I saw a future purpose in that. And the purpose was to put candles in them. Now, it was a little too hot to deal with that when I put them out there. And a couple of my candles melted. And so we don't want a repeat of that. But if you go on Pinterest, if you have a Pinterest account, you can see some really pretty ideas with wine bottles. So I had a future purpose for them. Now, I'm seeing all kind of creepy crawlies coming up out of this wood chip. You all probably cannot see too much of what I'm doing, but I'm just trying to spread this wood chip out a little bit and get my mounds down some because they were way too high. Now, keep in mind, if you're working with wood chip, you will need to have a mask on, but it has been raining. Don't know if you all can tell, this wood chip is moist. So I don't have a lot of stuff flowing around in the air. Somebody lost a bow. Some baby lost a bow. Not in my house, but some baby did. All right. So I'm just going to spread it out, make my pathways. And I have a wine bottle here. You probably don't see it, but it's right here. I turned it upside down. My sister and my brother-in-law give me these wine bottles. It's very rare that I will have one that I have used the wine in. But sometimes, every now and in a blue moon. So I turned it upside down so when I am using my hose doesn't get caught on my plants. So if you have wine bottles or whatever kind of bottles you may have in your house, no judgment, you might be able to have the same thing in your garden. Use that wine bottle for a different purpose. Use that. I have some vodka bottles, I think is what she gave me, in the greenhouse for the same reason. So when I'm working on the other side of the garden, I'm not tearing up my plants by dragging a hose around them. All right, family, let's see. I still have a lot of wood chip I need to move, so let me speed this up because I'm moving a little slow. I'm tired. Oh, my clock went off at 4:30. Always goes off at 4:30 every morning. So by 4:30 in the afternoon, 5 o'clock, y'all, I'm ready for bed. But I got to keep moving. It's too early to go to sleep. So, okay, let me finish this off. Now, I know you're probably asking me, why did you put that in the municipal trash? And the reason why that is because I had two I had a pumpkin, the round pumpkin, which is what I just pulled out, and I had a long squash. And the vine borer, what I believe it was, got a hold of it and it killed off the long one. And so I didn't want any of that in my compost in the back, just in case there was any kind of, I want to stay in the yard and come back strong next year kind of attitude from the vine borer, which they're going to come anyway. But I didn't want to leave something and put it in my compost that could somehow replicate or harbor. And so that's why I took it all out. So I have a bunch of wood chip over here. And I have a project. I know y'all are probably going, girl, what is that over there? That is my fire pit area. And I do have a project that I'll be working on. I will be laying down pavers over here, either pavers that I create myself with concrete or cement, or ones I purchase that are already done. I already have the molds and the spreading tools, but concrete is heavy, y'all. I went to the store and got 2 bags of concrete, and I said, never again. So I had my spouse pick up concrete, and he looked at me and said, you know, this is heavy, right? I said, yes, I know it's heavy because I tried to pick it up as well. So I don't know right now how that's going to come about because those bags are heavy and neither one of us are spring chickens. And we're not trying to bust our backs any more than they're already busted. So that is going to be a project that I'm going to work on between now and spring. It was 81 degrees today when I got on the highway. The car was reading 81 degrees. So it's nice and warm. It is cool in the mornings. We're getting down into the 40s and 50s. Our temperature is going to change and it is going to eventually get like cold for probably like a minute, maybe 2 months, and then we will have spring. And so I do want to get this fire pit done. And the reason why I didn't have concrete laid like my patio is because if this is not going to be my forever home, I didn't want to have a concrete slab here because that might not be somebody else's dream. And so I didn't want to lay it. And oh, by the way, it costs money. So I thought pavers might be the way to go. And if you all can see, this is wet. It has been raining, and this is indeed nice and wet. So that's another reason why I'm not worried about not having a mask on, because this is wet. There aren't any spores that are releasing in the air that I can see. So I want to get this off of my patio because I will be power washing the patio. I've already begun to pick up the chairs. I don't know if you all saw that in the previous video, but I have stacked the chairs so that they are not just sitting out. I've been cleaning up the table, getting everything ready for the winter since we are in winter. So I am just going to keep spreading this wood chip. Y'all, I'm so tired of wood chips. I love having them in the garden, but they are labor intensive. And if you're younger, then maybe it won't bother you so much. But when you're over the age of 50, there's some things that we just don't entertain. And I know I entertain a lot and I pay for it later. But I'm getting tired of wood chips. I have hauled so many wood chips this year that the idea of spreading more wood chips is too much for me. But I've got to get it done because I need to have this smoothed out to some degree. I will be growing in this area. And if I have enough time, I'm going to show you. I'm going to position some pots here. And I'm going to grow with trellises up here. I have some wood over in the corner that I salvaged from a couple different places to include the fence panel and my gate. And I'll be using those to make some trellises. Hopefully, we'll see. We shall see. Because I'm worn out, y'all. I'm worn out. I may have my handyman do it because, you know, like I said, my spouse and I, we're tired. We are tired. We do what we can, but when it comes to all the other stuff, we leave that to the young people, younger people, because we're not old. But I have my AARP card. Make no mistake about that. All right, y'all. Let me finish off what I'm doing. I know y'all probably don't want to sit here and see me do this, but this is what's on the menu for today. Okay. Now, I think for the most part, and I will need to move this wood chip a little bit more, but I do want this pathway to be pretty high because I realized that the pathways, the wood chip deteriorated. I can't speak, I'm tired. It deteriorated really quickly from my first wood chip delivery to when I got this one this year. And so I want these pathways to be nice and high. And somehow I've got plastic and a paper bag. Oh, this paper bag does belong to me. I had basil in it, so there's a possibility I might have basil growing in the pathway. Because I forgot I harvested basil and I put the bag up there. I got sidetracked. All right, y'all. So let me finish this off. And I'm going to be moving some pots around because I'm going to be growing in this area again next year, but I'm not doing it the same way. I'll be going in the ground and in pots. So let me finish this off and I'll be right back. I have moved the wood chip from that path. Sorry about kicking the camera. Moved it over there. And I have moved the wood chip pile that was right here and spread it out that way. As I mentioned, the pathways deteriorate very quickly. So I wanted the pathways to have a significant amount of wood chips. So I have this big pot right there that you all see. Let me put y'all down. I do apologize. I have that big pot right there that you all see. It is just like the orange pots or rust colored pots that I have. I've had those pots for years. Those are actually tubs. I found them at the Asian market where I get a lot of my things. Haven't been able to find any in a very long time. And so I went online and I found this one. I've got to drill some holes in it, but it is going to sit right over there where you see those 3 pots. I'm going to be moving those 3 pots from over there for right now. They're going to go right here. And I will think about it in the coming months. What else I want to put here. Like I said, I want to grow in the ground. I want to grow in these containers, but I don't want what was here to be here again next year. So let's get moving and let me start moving some stuff over to this area and get this set up. I'm not going to drill holes and fill it up with soil and get it ready for planting just yet. That's going to be another video, but I will be moving it over to where it's going to go. That way, when I do fill it up, I won't have to try to drag it because it'll be extremely heavy. This pot without a hugelkultur method can take a good 4 cubic feet of soil, so it can hold a lot of soil. I don't know if I'll be able to move these pots how I would like to move them. I don't know if I'll be able to do that, but I am going to try. I don't know if you all can tell, but my okra is still flowering. I am going to take this okra out of here if it's not going to produce, because like I said, it's been getting cold. Oh, this one's good to eat. I'm gonna take that one off. This one is for seed. This will be the last one I use for seed. Everything else will be for eating. No, I lied. There's 2. This one went over. So 2 on here for seed. All the other little babies that are popping up are going to be for eating. But I am going to be taking this pot, the okra's in, once I take the okra out, and it is going to go over in the back of the garden where I have my youngest asparagus. I'll be transplanting my asparagus into this container. I'll be cutting that back. That won't be in this video, but I'm giving you guys a prelude to what is coming. So let me see. I may need to get some help moving these pots right here, because they are they are heavy. They're not full of soil, but they are indeed heavy. And I do need to, once all this sweet potato vine dies down, I will be repositioning the other side and moving it in a little bit so that I can stake up another stake on it so it's not so easily taken by the wind. Now, like I said, I have no idea if I'm going to be able to move this. In all honesty, I'm running out of steam, tired. Yeah, this is heavy. I'm going to have to get some help. I'm going to have to call in some cavalry because these are heavy. Ooh, Lord. And it's been raining. So, yeah, these are heavy. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Oh, no, wait a minute. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Now, this one, my ruby chard is growing nicely. I'm going to show y'all in just a second. Oh. And I also need to move some of the wood chip back over there because these pots are surrounded by wood chip. That's another reason why this is heavy. It's surrounded by wood chip. Okay. Hold that thought, y'all. Hold that thought. Okay, so for right now, this is my vision. I pulled my two pots I had in the back, one that has carrots, one that has parsnips, and the two plastic whiskey barrels from over there that have the elephant garlic and the Swiss chard and the, oh, what else did I put in there? Shallots and beets. They're going to be right here for right now in a grouping of four. I do need to get some more black trash cans. What I like to do is if I have a pot that has holes in the bottom, because those are grow bags inside that plastic pot. What I'll probably do is I will take those grow bags out of that pot. The only reason why I did that is to put a plastic bag inside the pot so that that grow bag wicks up water out of that plastic bag. That way they don't dry out as much. And so I think I'll figure that out later on down the road. I'm just trying to move some things around right now, get them in the position where I want them to be. That way when I come on in my next video, I'll be adding plants to different pots, chopping some things down. I do have some clematis over there by the greenhouse. I need to move those and probably position them maybe over here. I don't know, but I don't think I'm going to let them grow over in that area. I think I'm going to let them grow in that area next year. I think I'm going to move them. I think what I might do is I might move the wood stack pile, and I might put the wood stack pile right there. I don't know. We'll see. But there's going to be some changes happening. But I am going to move them for right now. That way it's easier for me to get to, easier for me to water. So I'm going to be stacking up these chairs like I did the chairs on the patio, getting them stacked up for the winter time. And yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. All right, family, I am losing light. This is all I am going to be doing tonight. Just kind of repositioning some things, taking a look at how I want the garden to be for the spring. This is just preliminary. It could move again. Not sure. I do have some pots I've got to pot up. I've got some things I've got to cut down. I've got some seeds to sow. And so I didn't get a chance to get my watering done, but I see some of my traps are empty. So I need to put some bait in those because I cannot leave those empty. So until the next video, I want to say thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. Give me that thumbs up. Leave me a comment. And I hope to see you either in my kitchen or my ever-changing food forest real soon. Bye for now. because I got to go take care of this bait situation. And y'all know what I'm baiting for. So if you don't, take a look at a couple previous videos. I'll see y'all later.